Welcome back to the Duncan Music Lounge. We're here in Hartford with Jim Mora and Uconn. Next Saturday, August 30th, opening day at the Rent. Football Huskies will host the Blue Devils of Central Connecticut. We'll be there for all the action. Game day on our flagship begins at 11 a.m. from the Cloder Farms Doghouse just outside the stadium. Network pregame 12:30, kickoff shortly after 2. Be on the Uconn Sports Network, the Varsity Network app. If you're outside the area and you want to hear what's going on, get the Varsity Network app, put it on your phone. It's really easy to find. It's great. You can hear us from anywhere in the country. So that's big, the varsitynetwork.com. So back with Jim Mora, and we're going through the roster a little bit here. We talked about some of the specialty guys, the skill guys, Shamar Porter, Skylar Bell. Joe Fagnano comes back as a QB. You got a deep quarterback depth chart. I've seen a bunch of them now. I watched the scrimmage on Saturday and here today at practice. And how do you rate quarterbacks when you got that many? Do you have something in mind where you say, well, Fagnano threw 20 touchdowns, only 4 interceptions. He's got to be top of the list right now. How do you go about making that decision?
Well, you're looking for certain qualities, great decision makers, guys are going to protect the football, guys that have leadership qualities, obviously accuracy and timing in the passing game, and understanding of the offense, experience. And one of the reasons that, Joe has had some success for us is that, he's played the most snaps of any of those guys. He's a seasoned guy. How many of you ever thought you'd be hearing about a 7th-year player?
Nobody.
Yeah, he's in his 7th year. He's only 20. I think he's only 24 though, but he's in his 7th year.
So he went to college at 17.
I believe so. Someone told me he's 24. He's engaged. So he's a mature kid.
All right.
But we do. To your point though, the quarterback room, there's depth there. Nick Evers started 6 games for us last year, and he's still here. Tucker McDonald, just from up the road, has had a tremendous offseason. He got hurt a little bit last year, but he's been pushing both of those guys. And then we have a freshman named Kason Farrar, who's dynamic. You typically don't make quarterbacks live in a scrimmage. You put a red jersey on him, and no one's allowed to hit him. And Saturday at the Rent, I just made him take off his red jersey and said, "You're live," and had him live in practice yesterday, and I don't think anyone's touched him yet. He's this dynamic runner. He's got great poise about him. He's got a really nice arm. All he needs is some experience. So It's a nice room to have. I feel like if we, in the 3 years I've been here, we haven't made it through a year with the same starting quarterback because of injury. Now, let's, hopefully that changes. But if it doesn't, at least we know we've got some guys who can go in there and play with confidence.
Kason Farrar, the freshman you mentioned, his throwing skills are kind of cool, I think. He can throw the ball from a lot of different angles. Yep. He can fit the ball in. He throws well on the move. That's a great skill in today's game, is it not?
Yep. Yeah, because the game, there's so much movement in the game now, and probably 60% of your pass plays, are taking place outside the pocket now, either by design or the play breaks down and the guy has to scramble and make a play. And he's got, he's different arm slots that he can throw from. Joe, well, they all can, but Kason, he's got a knack for being able to throw it low with a lot of velocity and accuracy, especially for a kid his age. He's a really good-looking player, and he's a great kid. He's smart. He's got composure. Sees the field well. I probably should just shut up because then now some other team will come and try and poach him.
Yeah, I know. I don't want to put him up on a pedestal yet.
No, he's not even going to play. He's not.
Right,
he's fourth string. He's fourth. We're talking about it, but it's kind of cool when you can sit here and talk about your 4th string quarterback, right? Maybe that shows there's a little growth. I don't know.
I said this to somebody in the building here. I think Ben Darnell. I said, he reminded me of Lamar Jackson. And I was being crazy about it. But
whoa,
his style.
Okay.
Wait, I'm exaggerating.
No, I hear what you're saying.
Bit, but
there's a style there. No, there's some similarities in his style. There's similarities in the style of Jaden Daniels too, and in stature. And so he's not quite as tall as Jaden yet, but he's still growing. But yeah, he's a young guy. But I would say right now we're spending too much time talking about a guy who's going to be holding the clipboard most of the season.
All right, we got rid of that guy. No, he's
now in the future, assuming that word doesn't get out about him, which we're screwing that up right now. No. Maybe he'll be our quarterback.
He can play. All right. But none of the things we say about quarterbacks matter if the offensive line doesn't protect them.
True.
And they did a good job last year. So now you got two guys that could end up playing in the NFL, Chase Lund, Val Sen, two guys that were around last year and did a lot of good things. They're not there. Tell me about the offensive line. I watched closely today because I know those big guys, if they protect the QB, that could be a lot of fun.
Yeah, and, for 3 years now, we've been one of the best protection teams in the country statistically. And those statistics can be flawed. One of the things that we've done is run the ball well, like you said. And so that helps you in terms of statistics of your sack ratio. But we've got good players there, and they've been in our system for a while. You look at Ben Morawski, who's our starting left tackle, who started last year as a starting guard, and then he got hurt. So he's a guy we have a lot of high hopes for. And the right tackle, Karsten, has been around for a long time. A couple big guys. We brought in a right guard from Notre Dame, Tai Chan. Our left guard is Kyle Juergens, who played a lot last year. Our center, Wes Ho, is a returner. So those 5 are solid, assuming they stay healthy, which, has not been something we've been able to make happen in the 3 years we've been here. It's a tough physical sport, but they've been in our system for the most part, other than Ty. But he's a smart guy. He's a really good player. They're very well coached by Christian Pace, and Coach Samus was our offensive line coach in the past. They understand what we're trying to do. And then it helps to have a quarterback that can make good decisions and get rid of the ball on time, or throw it away and not take a sack or take a negative play. And I think that's one of the things about Joe is his composure and his poise in the pocket, his ability to keep his eyes down the field when a play breaks down, not trying to force the ball in there, but, get rid of it, either dirt it or throw it out of bounds and live for the next down. So all those things add. And then you've got to have good backs and tight ends that can protect too, because, people don't think running backs, about 50% of their job is pass protection, and it's not easy to sort things out. And we've got guys that are willing to stick their nose in there and protect their quarterback.
Yeah, Bill Belichick once famously said to Tom Brady, nothing happens on offense until you get rid of the ball.
Right.
So get rid of it.
Yeah.
And he did it pretty well.
Yep.
All right, Jim Mora with us. We'll be back to the Duncan Music Lounge. The Uconn Football Coaches Show continues.